Hello everyone and welcome to Motorhomes with American Tom. I'm Tom and this is the all-new 2023 American Eagle 45K. I've got to say this is my favorite floor plan of my favorite brand, of the top end of what the Rev Motorhome Group makes. We're going to take a look at everything outside of the motorhome, look at everything inside of the motorhome, tell you the things we like and dislike about the motorhome, and I have an extra surprise for you here. We've got a special guest to show us a few things here. Let's get it on. Alright, this is the 2023 American Eagle 45K. Let's take a look. The first thing I want to point out is the beautiful exterior that you have here. The all-new front cap that they redesigned in 2021 has a very strong look. It has your drop-down mirrors, which are wonderful as far as seeing what's around the RV. You've got the top-mounted wipers, which are great at keeping things clean there. And I just love the stainless steel that you have all the way around the motorhome. This is the Spyglass exterior graphic, which uses some darker grays, kind of a blue hue built in there as well with the silver. Has a wonderful look for it. This is all Sikkens paint. They have a couple extra layers of clear coat, so it's very smooth. A few other things that are part of this exterior graphic that I like too are the way that they recess the slide and intake here. You can see that this slide is actually inside the side of the motorhome. What allows them to do this are the hydraulic slides that they use, the HWH, so it gives it a very flush look. Also look at the window treatment. The window treatment ties in with the paint job that you have, so it's just very sleek, very well put together. You also have the Gerard roof integrating awning package that goes from front to back of the motorhome. Overall, it's just a beautiful overall design, but it's an American Eagle, so what do you expect? Starting out from here at the front, you see that you have a little bit of a wider door. Now this is an airlock door, meaning that it has this air piece that sucks it in tight. So it's kind of a nicer door, but it also is very quiet when you're riding. You have the American Eagle design right there on your handrail, and also you have the built-in lock with the passcode. Really nice setup here. Now, while we're out here, I want to talk about something that makes American Coach extra special, and that is that Liberty Bridge foundation. The Liberty Bridge pairs the very, very best Freightliner, Cummins, and Allison components with a frame that is the strongest in the industry. Now, what most brands are doing, they're taking the C-channel rails that go from the front clip of the motorhome to the back, maybe adding some extra bracing to that system to add some strength to it. This chassis is built, not braced. They take those C-channel rails all the way out. They replace them with I-beams that are 30% stronger. They go from front to back of the motorhome. They get to custom design how that frame is put together as well for extra storage underneath, and then the additional rigidity that you get through those I-beams. The extra rigidity prevents the RV from twisting. So that adds longevity to the quality of your construction in this ride. You get rid of things like cracked tiles or squeaky cabinets, extra squeaks in the motorhome. It is the best modular design of a chassis that you see in anything within this range of production coach. So that is a huge benefit there. Let's talk about chassis components a little bit. Of course, we'll talk about more of the technology once we get inside. Your front axle here is a 20,000-pound Freightliner ZF IFS system. That's an independent front suspension system, the biggest one they make at 20,000 pounds. Also, you have the 365 tires, extra rubber, extra cushion for the road, makes your ride even better. The next part that I want to mention as part of this chassis is that they have a midship mounting of your fuel tank. So your fuel tank's 150 gallons. It's right here. You can see one of your fuel fills. By moving the fuel tank to the middle of the coach, you know, that's 150 gallons. It's probably over 1,000 pounds when it's full, and that's another 1,000 pounds that you're losing when it's empty. If you have it right there on the front axle, that creates a little bit of difference in your ride, whether your tank's full or empty. It can be more or less bouncy. By moving it to the middle, you get a better weight distribution that's more consistent with how the RV rides. So it's a luxury feature as far as the ride quality that I think makes a big difference. When you go towards your rear axle, you've got the V-Ride axle on your drive axle, which gives better roll stability and more convenience in how the RV is going to ride. And then your tag axle is a 14,000 pound steerable tag axle. Now when you take the independent front suspension and the steerable tag that you have in the back, you get what Freightliner calls UltraSteer. This adds 17% better turn radius when you use the vehicle. So even though you're 45 feet long here, you're gonna have incredible maneuverability. The chassis components here that you have in partnership with the Liberty Bridge and Freightliner components and the SL605 are top end. Before we go any further, I wanna ask Jared here. He's our special guest. All right, so Jared, tell us a little bit, did I miss anything on the chassis?
No, you did an excellent job. Excellent job. Outside of the modular construction, it adds the most storage ability when it comes to cubic feet per inch.
Look right there.
In comparison to any other chassis in the industry, and I love that Tom pointed out the turning radius, because you're turning so much tighter than anything in the industry as well too, which is a huge plus when you get into some of these tight campgrounds and you have to maneuver in tight spaces. This is going to get you around, and it's going to feel like you're turning on a dime.
So great stuff there. Now Jared, as well as myself, have been your top 2 American Coach salespeople for the last, what is it, 4 or 5 years now since we took the product in here. So an incredible wealth of knowledge. So I wanted to bring him in here to tell us some more about the American Coach that I might miss. So as we move from the front to back, we did look at your huge storage that part of the Liberty Bridge gives you. I also want to point out that these are electric slide-out trays. Just a luxury feature that's really cool. Always been a big fan of that. Also these doors, they're very thick, insulated doors, very comfortable, and really easy to close right there. You know, a lot of these brands, you'll see a little bit of a different handle there that you kind of have to fool around with to get them to open up right, so I like how that operates. In here you have a huge smart TV and a Bose sound speaker, but you have to push a button on the inside to open that up. It's an electric run. As you move to the back, this is the hydraulic reservoir. Now this controls your hydraulic leveling system and the hydraulic slides that the Coach has. You need a heavy duty system there to have that extra feature. Moving to the back here. Now this is the lithium battery package upgrade that is optional on the American Eagle. All of our stock units, we're going to put this in because it is such a great feature. There is 8 100 amp hour Dragonfly lithium batteries. Now by going to lithium as opposed to the AGM batteries that you typically have, you get full use of 800 amp hours as opposed to being able to only use 50% of those batteries. So it is a literal doubling of your battery capacity that this motorhome has. These batteries last forever, they're lithium, and they just do a wonderful job. No maintenance whatsoever, so it's a convenience and functionality feature that this motorhome has that I think makes a huge difference. Moving to the back right here. Now this is where your water tanks are located, but they do utilize this little bit of space for some extra features such as the RV surge protector, automatic transfer switch, your solar charge controller, battery control center, RVC bridge. You got to put these things somewhere, so it's very smart that they utilize the space in such a great way. Behind this are your tanks. You have 105 gallons of fresh water, 75 gallons in your gray tank, and then a 50-gallon sewer tank. So huge capacities. This is made for long-term use. We did mention the V-Ride drive axle here, and then your steerable 14,000-pound tag as part of UltraSteer's B-Series configuration. Right here you have some chassis components, your batteries, 15-gallon depth tank, air dryer, fuel separator, all right here, and then you can control the exterior lift to access the engine right there. That's just really cool. But it's American Eagle, so why not? Now as part of this chassis, you do have a 20,000-pound tow capacity. This has the X15 Cummins engine with 605 horsepower and 1950 per torque. That is a huge amount of power and you can 20,000 pounds. All right, here on the passenger side, Jared, show us what we got.
So we got the wet bay, where you're going to have access to your whole house water filtration system. And what's neat about that is this filters all the water in the coach. So if you got excited enough, you can drink right out of the shower. You have your water connection that's motorized, and then you have your 50 amp that's also motorized, so it's just push button. I know that on hot days or cold days, this cord can get a little cumbersome, so it's nice that it's all powered. You're going to have your dump station. And what's neat about the dump station here, it has the built-in SantaCon. And why this is important is, let's say you're up north in North Carolina or in the hills or mountains, this will actually pump uphill. So it pumps up to 200 feet, and some of the useless knowledge is that it'll shoot up to 30. So it's just nice to know that if you're ever in a tight spot, where you have to go up, that this thing will work just as well. You're also going to have easy access to your Santa Flush, which is a built-in jet system to get any of the excess out, which is awesome. Hot and cold, outside shower, but I love that they integrated the LCD screen out here so that you can still see your levels and actually turn your water pump out here. I know that's huge. A lot of the other manufacturers, you still got to run inside and turn that on, come back around. Now, if you're up north and you're needing to winterize, your low point drains are easy accessible as well too. Outside of that, LED lit. You have access to 112. Your part cable, where they offer the cable. It's just seamless. It's pretty. They've done a real good job with the finish. I'm a fan.
All right.
Now your next compartment is going to be your 600 aqua hot system, where you also have the LCD screen. You have easy access to the filters, but it's a compartment that's dedicated just to the aqua hot. And I mean, for the most part, your technicians are going to have access to this. Not most consumers are going to want to mess with this too often, but it's just nice that it's got its own compartment and super clean. You're going to have access to your Dirt Devil back here, where you're going to change your bag, and then also your aqua hot reservoir. The other side of your storage compartment, I know Tommy mentioned earlier the beds that are electric, they go out both ways, which is a huge plus depending on how you organize the coach. Now, this is going to be your American Coach mud flap, stainless steel.
Yeah, it's a mud flap right there. Okay, let's take a look inside. So even with the slides in here, you really have great space. There's a lot of motorhomes where you come in and this is really tight. I can actually turn around in here pretty comfortably instead of having to squeeze through. So we really like that. Come on in, Jared. You have full use of the kitchen, tons of space here. You can use the sink, you can use this. The fridge will open all the way up. And then you have access to your half bath as well. So you can't access the rear bathroom from here. You'd have to climb over the bed, but with the half bath, what's the difference? All right, let's get this thing opened up. All right, now that we got this thing opened up, you can see how wonderful this 45K floor plan is. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything. A great living room, great kitchen area, the dinette. The master suite is my favorite in any RV. This is one of the, I guess, my personal favorites as far as RVs go. While we're here, I just want to ask you if you're enjoying the video to like, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, or comment any questions you have that are more particular. We are always happy to help you out. We did say hi to Jared a little bit when we were outside, but Jared is a salesperson here. He's been here for a long time, has an incredible amount of knowledge as far as the purchase process and the RVs themselves. Always happy to help out. His number is going to be down here on the bottom left of the screen. Anything you'd like to say?
I agree with you on this being my favorite floor plan. I like to hear. I'm enjoying it, and I look forward to hearing a lot more that you have to say about it.
Okay, great. Now, I always like to start off looking into the chassis components that you have up here in the driver's seat. Do you want to have a seat and tell us some more about it? Yeah, we might have to get this thing on so we can show some of the stuff we got going on. All right. So, I mean, you've got Freightliner's drive tech situation, on-guard collision mitigation. Tell us what you see.
I see the OptiView LCD screen, which is really neat for these last handful of years where they've gone to the nicer technology of where it's easier to see, not just during the day, not at night, but during the day as well. Super bright. Your navigation, your backup monitors, they look like two TV screens next to each other, which is amazing for a lot of our customer and client base. And you can switch these around if you need be. Outside of that, the cockpit feels like you're in a jet or a high-end plane. It really wraps around you. It's super ergonomic. Easy to reach every button that you need throughout the drive when it comes to lights, generator, battery boost, and then the technology behind everything up here, which is simplistic but yet can feel a little overwhelming. It's just push button, from the Bluetooth to the navigation and the apps, and then the sound system in here. If you guys ever get a chance to listen to the sound system in this, it just feels like you're in a concert when this is completely on up here in the radio and the drive. Very, 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 very complimentary of how quiet it is. So,
and I really want to point that out too. When we were up at the factory doing the training, the JBL sound system you have, I think they said it was 12 speakers that are right here in your cab. It's very crisp. It's all custom tuned to what they have here. They actually have this little sound piece they set here to test it out for the tuning package, so I think that's really cool. A couple other really cool things. This has the 360 camera view. So we have an RV on both sides of it, so you can see that RV, or those RVs right there. And you can also adjust which cameras you'd like to see. Very convenient for how this works. It's a huge mobility feature that I think makes things very easy. Also, as part of this chassis, the technology is spectacular. So you have the collision avoidance system and adaptive cruise control, Freightliner's on-guard system, built into your electronics up here in the dash, active braking, lane departure tracking, all Freightliner components. And then you also have the Mobileye collision avoidance system, which is more of a notifier. One thing I like about that is how it reads the speed limit signs and displays that information for you. So it's just very automotive in your driving experience. A couple other things that are really convenient. As part of your drive tech situation, you have the steering wheel, which is kind of hard to see right there. This has a 3-stage engine brake that you can control right here. So it's really easy to make those modifications. And then also you have an air leveling system that acts as an adaptive air leveling system. So as you're going down the road, it will adjust your air leveling to make your ride more comfortable. So you're not leaning if you're on a crooked road. Speaking of leveling, you have the hydraulic leveling that we talked about, and also an air leveling system. So the convenience of having both, no matter where you go, you're going to be able to level out in a very easy way. All power shades, same thing in the back is what you have up here. Those are some great features. So we've seen the cab area. Let's take a look at the motorhome, because that is by far what I love most about the 45K. So up here in the front, you have your pull-out bed that comes out from underneath this beautiful couch. And then on this side, you have the theater seating. This has adjustable footrests and headrests, and very comfortable material. The provider of your furniture in this product line is Apex. Apex is out of Tennessee. Great people that work there for Apex and own the company there. But they provide a very high quality residential product. You can also see Apex in high-end furniture stores for homes. So they really outdid themselves as far as the quality of what they have here. Everything matches really well here too. The design you see here is what's called Channel Island decor package, paired with the black walnut woodwork. So there are a few different options you have here. The Mindful Gray, there's another gray, but my favorite two are the Mindful Gray, which is very modern feeling. It's a light white kind of eggshell color, and then the black walnut. You can see it has some extra texture in your cabinet, so it really has a traditional but high quality look. All these doors are solid wood. This is solid wood underneath there. Very high quality materials. And then the contrast that you see here in this package with light floors, dark furniture, the solid wood with the extra contrast you have there. You can see this glass inlay. Everything looks really nice. Very sturdy, very high quality, and I like the size of these too. It just feels very, very homey. Another part of that decor package worth mentioning as we move to the back, this is all Corian. Well, no, it's not Corian, it's Cambria quartz. So most RVs are going to have Corian, maybe some kind of quartz or a granite. The Cambria quartz is the highest quality stuff that you can find. You see this in high-end homes, luxury yachts. Why not have the best of the best when you're here in the American Eagle? Moving back to the kitchen while we're here, this is unique in that you have a fixed island here with the waterfall edge. Obviously it looks great as far as the decor goes, but it has a functional component to it as well that I love, and that's that when you have a pull out here, you usually get these really tiny drawers that are about this wide. By doing it this way, you get this huge drawer in your kitchen. Much nicer amount of storage there, and then a full cabinet underneath. This is all lined to ozite just like the rest of the cabinets there, but it really gives you a full wraparound kitchen here. You know, you have the undermounted hidden Induction cooktop there, tons of storage all the way around. You got the big window that overlooks your cabinet there. Lots of overhead storage here above the sink too. And then a really nice basin style stone sink. So that is just a quality feature that I really love, even this little piece here. It all makes a big difference as far as the quality of the motorhome goes. Of course, right here, you've got your knock lock dishwasher. They put the cover on right there. Now here on the driver's side of the vehicle, this is where you have your table and chairs dinette area. Of course, this pulls out, and there's 2 additional chairs to go alongside it. But you get all of this nice storage in the end. I do like how this props up in the middle there, just adds a little bit to it. And then huge storage here. I mean, look how deep this is. All ozite line. I mean, this goes all the way back. Of course, in a motorhome like this, where owners are likely going to be in the RV for extended periods of time, every bit of storage makes a big, big difference. As we move to the back, I want to point out a few of the component features that kind of set the American Eagle apart. And the American Eagle's top end is going to have all the nice features. 3 ACs with heat pumps, 15 KAC units with air condensation drains, so you don't have to worry about that water draining off the side of the motorhome right onto your campsite. It's going to go through the RV and drain underneath. You have heated floors front to back of this motorhome, which makes a big difference. Of course, you have the AquaHot system, which provides a hydronic heating system and a tankless hot water heater, and it's the 600D, so you have a ton of power there. Another neat thing about that 600D is that you have 2 electric elements, so you can go on shore power, you can run the heating system in its entirety, so that is a huge feature there. All right, moving to the back, we were talking a bit about the components there. Of course, you've got a really nice refrigerator here. This has Wi-Fi capable, it has cameras built inside of it, all the apps, pictures that you can set up here. I mean, why not? Ice and water on the door, big freezer on the bottom. And then you have what's called the flex drawer. This flex drawer can operate as a freezer, as a refrigerator, or it can be a wine cooler. You can kind of use this as you see fit, so you can customize that to your own personal use. And then right here, of course, an extra pantry with really nice pull-outs on the top and the bottom. You can see how these even have the soft close built into them. So really nice feature there. One thing I love about the American Coach products are technology. We talked about the technology that you have up there in the dash with Freightliner's Drive Tech, the on-guard collision mitigation and adaptive cruise control, but the tech on the home part of the motorhome is also top end. Your tech package here comes with the 300 watts of solar that ties into that big 800 amp hour lithium battery system. You've got the multiplex control here, Firefly, which is really user-friendly and easy to use. You can control your auto gen start system, your diesel or electric controls for your water system, all of your blinds, all of your lights, your there's your shades right there, your slides, your awnings, window awnings, door awning. Everything's very easy to control here. And look how responsive and just well put together this whole thing is. Another part of this that's really nice is that you can control it from your cell phone. And I'm not just talking about Bluetooth within 100 feet. You can control this from anywhere. It has its own Wi-Fi capability separate of the RV's Wi-Fi itself that allows you to be 1,000 miles away, and you can access this same panel right there on your cell phone and make adjustments to that, or just monitor what's going on with the RV's electrical system, things like that. That is a really nice feature that I think makes a difference in its use that's profound. Here's your half bath. I want to point out how nice this door is. Matches the woodwork everywhere else. Very sturdy, solid wood door. In here, matching Cambria quartz, same backsplash you have in the rest of the RV, and really nice storage here as well. Also, you got plenty of space. Plenty of elbow room in here. Everything's really comfortable. I'm going to say this is 4Ps approved for sure. All right, so as we move back into here to the master suite, solid door right here. It's a little sturdy. There we go. Closes all the way off. Here on your passenger side, you have a king size adjustable bed. Lots and lots of storage overhead. You see how they kind of contour that back in the middle? That's going to give you a little bit of extra space above your head there, and it also adds some depth to the cabinets there. Speakers overhead. You also have another controller underneath that ties into your multiplex wiring, so if you want to turn all the lights off, turn the generator on, adjust your AC, you can do that while you're laying in bed. Wireless chargers on both sides, USB, and normal GFI outlets on both sides as well. And then windows on both sides of the bed. Even the backsplash. See how that matches really well there? Well, not backsplash, I guess that's a headboard. Here on the driver's side of the vehicle, I mean, you have a ton of storage here. Lots of big drawers, very deep as well, all soft close. Even some nice depth right there. His and hers closets right here that can be hanging storage or additional storage right there. And then one thing that's really cool here, behind your TV, you got this hidden storage bay with a safe built in. It's always the detail with the American Coach that makes a huge difference for me. I mean, they even put the same quality wood right here to surround your safe, so all very good stuff there. As you move into the master suite here in the back, this is what I think makes this motorhome just onto the next level here. You've got a huge shower, glass enclosure, the rain style dropper, and then you got the handheld as well, but really nice high quality features, and the tiling is done in a way that's just really luxury high end. You've got the seat that folds up and out of the way, and then if you want to look at this right here, Jared, see how they inlay that little storage piece right there? Small things make a big difference in a motorhome like this. Right here, Samsung brand residential washer dryer, and then back here in the bathroom instead of being in the middle of the coach. I think that makes a huge difference because you can kind of set this and forget about it. The back is a full-length closet, cedar lined of course, that goes from front to back of the motorhome. Here's your extra chairs for up front. But really a ton of storage here in the back, which allows for you to have more storage in your bedroom. So you get all those drawers and then all of your hanging storage as well. I mean, this is really designed for long-term, full-time use, and that's why I think it's such a great layout. Here you have, of course, really nice space here, plenty of it. And then this is an exit safety door. This will fold all the way down to the bottom, the floor there on the outside, or the ground. And then here, these little storage trays have a like a gripper, kind of sandpaper gripper right there. So as you're going down, you have a safe exit from the RV in the event of emergency. And then of course, why not have dual vanities here? This is all matching Cambria quartz all the way down here. Very luxurious, backlit mirrors that are nice. And then these stone undermounted sink basins. Just very high quality, tons of storage built in here. Altogether, this is just a really, really nice master suite. So we've seen the RV itself. Now, Jared, we get to have the fun part now, right? So now that we've seen the RV inside and out, we get to talk a little bit about what we think makes the RV special. So let's have a seat and go through the likes and dislikes. So let's start with the good stuff. Let's talk about what we like about this motorhome.
I think what I like is when you come in, the way the wood pops. The walnut, the black walnut is amazing. But also what's nice is as you walk through, those that are used to a different style of slide system with these flush slide system where everything is seamless on the floor, this is a beautiful coach. It's an amazing layout. The quartz really stands out in here. The colors pop. They did a really good job with the design, but the quality behind a lot of that's put in here is really what separates it and sets it aside. I'm a huge fan of this brand. Huge fan of what they do and how they do it.
Okay, great. You know, that's something we really didn't talk about. In other videos, we've had the rep in here, and they really like to talk about construction, but there are some components to how an American coach is built that make it truly different. We talked about the chassis, everything we do with the Liberty Bridge, and that is just fantastic engineering and quality in its design. But the motor home itself, the home portion, there are some things they do that are truly different. This RV uses all bead foam vacuum bonded insulation in the floor, the roof, the sidewalls, which is going to be the best insulation style and most resilient form of construction. They also have their interlocking frame, which is a huge difference as well. I mean, most brands are just going to put it on top, drill it in, hold it tight. By using the interlocking and overlapping aluminum frames at the roof and at the floor, it creates a water barrier that is truly impenetrable. Also, by having the interlocking frame, it adds some extra strength and gusseting at the corners that make the house itself more sturdy as well. So you got the sturdiest house on the, or sturdiest chassis on the bottom, that being your foundation for the RV, and then the home itself on top of it be welded together and interlocking in a way that makes it just incredibly strong. We see these RVs come in 25 years old, American Coach, American Eagles, Dreams, and they're just running incredibly sound. You don't see cracked tiles, you don't see squeaky coaches when you take them for test drives, and they have continued that same quality of construction all the way through to what you have here today. Also the roof, that's molded fiberglass roof with the same bead foam vacuum bonded insulation, so a huge thing there. Now the things I like most about this RV, or really anything American Coach, the technology, not just in the chassis, in the home portion of the motorhome itself, very user-friendly, very easy to use, very modern with the connectivity that they have. I love how they're operated as far as the user experience goes, so I have to say that's my number one thing. The floor plan here in the 45K, it's my favorite one. I'm looking at RVs all the time. I think that you get a little bit of everything here. You have a wonderful kitchen. You have an excellent amount of space and openness in this design with the full wall slide. And then the master suite in the back is just truly spectacular. So this floor plan, I think, sets it above floor plans, even in this same category. So you have the technology, you have the floor plan itself. I gotta come up with one really good one. What do you got, Jared? One really good like for this motorhome.
One really good like for this motorhome.
You know, I think the ones we came up with so far kind of encapsulate many different components of it. So coming up with a really good like, you know what, I'm gonna go with the appliances. You know, there's a lot of RVs that are still using just a normal stainless steel. I think by going to the black stainless that you have here, the really nice technology proficient Samsung things that you have here, it adds to the decor package in a way that I think makes a big difference. What do you say?
I agree, because you know it gives like that residential, I'm still home, even though I'm in my RV, I'm still coming in, you know, I'm coming into a home where I have the same feel.
Well, it's a home away from home, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you might as well have all those things if you're going to have a vehicle of this quality and magnitude. So now the really hard part, we have to talk about the things that we dislike. I'm going to tag you in first here, Jared. You got to come up with something. We got to come up with three dislikes between us.
All right, so if I were to dislike one area, I love the cockpit. What I dislike a little is the legroom. If you're taller than 6'1" or 6'2", it limits you a little bit here. With this, it's beautiful, and as well as this thing conforms ergonomically to you, it leaves you a limited legroom if you're a taller gentleman. That'd be one of my dislikes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have noticed that. I mean, I'm not the tallest guy, so that works out pretty good for me. I do have a dislike right here. This looks great. It adds depth to the way things are, but it comes out that 2 inches right there, and I believe it makes it a little bit tight right here. I will point out that on 2024 models, they got rid of it. So I told this to them years ago. They finally have moved it back. So this is a 23 still. You get a huge discount, great deal on the 23, but on the 24 models, there's none of them out just yet where you can see it, but we know that this is going to be moved back. I'd say that's a dislike for me. We got to come up with one more dislike, Jared. What do you say?
I mean, and it may be small, but I mean, I'm gonna go with the weapons.
Yeah, this thing is heavy. You know, I'm not a weak guy, but this thing, I mean, this probably weighs 25 pounds. There's some pro and con things that I would say are on this motorhome. Because obviously it's a pro to have the higher quality material that's not going to get scratched up and have issues there. But then you got to lug around these weights here. You're going to get a workout just putting them in and out of the drawers. Another thing that I would point out as a pro and a con, you know, we talk about how great these HWH hydraulic slides are, and that's true. They're more reliable, they're American made, they give you the completely flush floor that you have there. But there is a con too. Look at the depth that you have as part of this piece. They're bulkier. So the bulkiness of that HWH slide, I think, just takes a little bit of your interior room out. Now you don't notice it that much on this floor plan because you have the big full wall deep slide right here that makes a huge difference, but I think that that does have a con in that space that the HWH takes up. So again, if you're enjoying the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're always happy, me or Jared, to give you information about this. If you would like to become an American Coach owner, here it is. We get to talk about the fun part in the pricing. This RV has an MSRP of $1,999,999. $181,000 and change, almost 1,000,000.082. So huge value here, over $1 million, which we have discounted all the way to $699, $995. But I will tell you something else here. With the 24s coming out, this is a great time to purchase an RV. I'm sure that if we came in and were willing to make a deal here, we might be able to help you out even more, myself or Jared. Again, thanks for liking the video or watching the video and taking a look at what we have here. Any questions, reach out to both of us. Anything you'd like to say, Jared, before we let the people go?
No. Thanks for your time. Thanks for the attention, and look forward to showing you more inventory.